evangelism, or rather, what is the process of evangelism? Perhaps you're a young person, or perhaps you're an experienced minister, and you've watched the evangelists on the great stages of the world, like a Billy Graham, or you've watched someone like a Reinhard Bonnke or someone else. There they stand before a crowd, and it just seems that they so eloquently articulate this word, and then all of a sudden the people move forward. Well, I want you to know that there really is a process in evangelism, and you and I can understand that the importance or the process of that evangelism is, one, to recognize that we are to persuade, we are to convince, and then we are to convert people to Christ. How do we do that? First, we persuade people by engaging them, if you're on a platform, engaging them through preaching the gospel by doing what? Telling stories, communicating the good news. But perhaps you're going to persuade someone just simply by having a conversation with them. Maybe you want to go next door and talk to your neighbor, and your neighbor needs to know Jesus. So what's the best way to talk to your neighbor? I always like to share the story of a young or a woman that I worked with many years ago. She loved to bake pies. And so her evangelistic door-opening tool was her pie and a cup of tea. And when she sat down to the table, then she would begin to persuade someone by sharing the stories that she knew had changed her life. Not only can you share stories, but you can persuade them by the demonstration of the gospel. Because as Jesus sent forth his disciples, the scripture says that he went everywhere, working with them and confirming the words that they spoke, with signs following. Do you understand that when you have someone you want to persuade in the way of God, you can count on Jesus to back you up, and he will follow your conversation?